On that afternoon of the 2014 Brazil World Cup, the eyes of the whole world were fixed on the moment he bit his opponent's shoulder. Luis Suárez instantly became a byword for brutality and madness. He was exiled, suspended, and hunted down by the media. Yet, when he stumbled home and pushed open the door, the woman named Sophia simply held him tight and whispered, "Luis, we're home." In that moment, the fiend who terrified every defender on the pitch broke down in tears, like a child who had lost his favorite toy. Tonight, by the soft glow of the fire, let us immerse ourselves in this gentle tale meant to calm the soul. This is no defense against controversy, but the story of a soul who defied a cruel world to guard his first love from the age of 13. We think he fought for his nation and glory. But every sprint in his life has always been for one thing: to draw closer to her. Listen to the wind blowing across the South Atlantic. It carries the vow young Luis Suárez made beneath the moonlight in the slums of Uruguay. Travel back to 1990s Montevideo, and you would see a young boy sweeping streets and collecting trash to scrape by. Born into a broken, impoverished family, Luis Suárez grew up surrounded by dust and hunger. Football was once nothing more than an outlet for his rage on rough gravel grounds, until he met Sophia at 13. She came from a decent, well-off household, while he was a poor boy without even a clean pair of shoes. Yet one glance was enough to define his entire future. To afford a bus ticket to see her, he knelt on the street collecting empty cans all day long. It was then he learned a bitter truth. The gap between social classes was harder to break than any defensive line on the pitch. Sophia never looked down on him. She taught him to read, pushed him to train, and told him, "If you wish to stay by my side, you must escape this despair." But fate dealt a cruel blow. Sophia's family planned to immigrate to Spain. At the airport, Luis watched her figure disappear beyond security. Clutching a crumpled note she left behind. It read, "Wait for me in Europe." At 15, he understood his only path: to become the world's greatest striker, and cross the ocean to find her. When Luis Suárez began his career in Uruguay's league, he played like a gambler consumed by love. He ran relentlessly, contested every ball fiercely, for he knew only goals could buy him a ticket to Europe. This burning longing forged his reckless playing style, the very origin of his reputation as football's wild beast. In 2006, Groningen, an obscure Dutch club, offered him a contract. The terms were far from generous, but he signed without hesitation. One glance at the map told him all he needed. Barcelona was merely 2,000 kilometers away. Compared to the 10,000-kilometer crossing of the Atlantic, it felt like next door. On his first lonely night in the Netherlands, he knelt beside his bed, staring at Sophia's photo and swearing silently, "I'm here. I've finally reached Europe." He pushed himself to learn Dutch day and night, charging into enemy boxes with unbridled ferocity, stunning everyone with his ruthless hunger. People wondered why he drove himself so hard. He never answered. Only he knew. Every sliding tackle shortened the distance between him and his beloved. Their long-awaited reunion was nothing like a Hollywood romance, just a quiet afternoon street in Spain. After saving enough for a flight to Barcelona, he stood outside her door, too nervous to knock after years apart. When they embraced tightly on the street, two souls torn apart by an ocean were finally made whole again. To stay with her forever, Luis chased greater heights, bigger clubs, better opportunities, a permanent home in a foreign land. From Ajax to Liverpool, his fame rose, and so did endless controversy, handballs, harsh remarks, infamous incidents. The world painted him as a villain with vicious words. But to Sophia, he remained that humble boy from the Montevideo slums who once collected cans for love. Boos echoed around him on English stadiums, yet the sight of Sophia cooking at home would instantly quiet his restless heart. He came to accept global condemnation as a small price. If enduring the world's hatred meant sharing a quiet evening with her, he would bear it all without regret. In 2014, Luis Suárez's lifelong dream came true. He signed with FC Barcelona. It was not only to form an iconic attacking trio with Messi and Neymar, but because Sophia and her family lived just outside the city. And owned more long journeys to see the one he loved. After training, he could drive home in minutes to his warm sanctuary. His years at Camp Nou were the softest chapter of his life. He lifted treble trophies and welcomed his children into the world. He still carried his fierce edge on the pitch, but his wildness was now woven with gentle protection for his family. Fans soon noticed his signature celebration, kissing the tattoos on his wrists and fingers, engraved with the names of his wife and children. Amid fame and temptation, he stayed grounded and pure. No smoking, no drinking, no late-night parties. His life revolved simply around football and family. This profound, unshakable love became his strongest armor, keeping him grounded even when the whole world turned against him. As his career entered its twilight, Luis Suárez made a touching choice. To return to South America. He turned down lucrative European offers, bringing Sophia and his children back to the land where his story began. His pace slowed. Years of physical strain left his ankles aching, yet his eyes were clearer and more peaceful than ever. He proved a timeless truth. A person may wear countless masks, praised or condemned by millions, but in the eyes of the one you love, you must always stay true and unguarded. In his leisure days, he walks along the shore with Sophia, watching the tides rise and fall. The despair that once lingered over the Atlantic has faded, replaced by the innocent laughter of his children. His life has been a journey of 10,000 miles. His destination was never the Ballon d'Or, but the young girl he fell for at 13. In the end, we return to the age-old contrast. Angel or monster. If Luis Suárez had been a mild, obedient gentleman, would he have crossed an ocean to reunite with his first love? Perhaps not. It was his wild, unyielding devotion that granted him the power to rewrite his destiny. His lifelong journey teaches us, love is not empty words, but a path paved with blood, sweat, and endless devotion to reach the one you cherish. Now, he sits with Sophia beneath the South American sunset, sharing mate tea in quiet, intimate peace only they understand. Tonight, let this tale of devotion, perseverance, and faith soothe your mind. Let go of worldly judgment, release anxiety for the uncertain future. This quiet night, may you too find someone worth chasing for a lifetime amid the wilderness of life. Good night.